And here we are talking to Mr. Grant Snyder, who is the CEO of Meeting Escrow, which is a relatively new company. So Grant, tell us a little bit about Meeting Escrow and how it came about and what needs is it filling, because my grandfather taught me when I was a young boy that there's 6 words to success: find a need and fill it. So tell us about Meeting Escrow.
Well, thanks, Mike. Meeting Escrow solves a problem in the meetings industry. When we take an advance deposit, we don't put it in a trust account or in a segregated account. When you buy a house, you don't give the money directly to the seller, do you? Until you get the keys. It goes to your lawyer, gets put in an escrow or a trust account, and from there it gets held until all the conditions are met. Why, in a $500 billion a year industry worldwide, do we insist on paying deposits in advance and not insisting that that money be put into some kind of protected account? The fact is, governments don't know what we do. We're not regulated, so there's no structure around how to handle those. So there is a pain point in the industry. There's a problem of how to do that. Meeting Escrow solves that problem. It's a multi-currency solution using the banking system in Canada, which is most solid in the world, no trouble during the financial crisis. And it's the banking system that I partnered with, along with other partners, to ensure the protection of client deposits. It's very simple. Clients pay their money to Meeting Escrow. We sign an escrow contract, and it stipulates when the money is released. The vendor, be it a hotel, a third party, or a destination management company, has the confidence that money is going to be released on time and right on those dates. The client has the confidence that the money is not going to be mixed with anyone else's money. In financial terms, that's called commingling or mixing. It's not going to be commingled with anyone else's money, and especially not mingled with the vendor's own funds. That's critical.
Well, it's a great concept. I guess my question is, playing the devil's advocate, are some of the potential customers nervous about placing the money with Meeting Escrow? How does that work?
Absolutely. And I addressed that by several ways. And the first way is that every single deposit that comes into Meeting Escrow comes in via wire transfer. It does not go into Meeting Escrow's own accounts. Every single deposit will have its own segregated bank account. And this is a bit of a hybrid trust account solution to ensure that the client and the vendor have complete transparency. They can see at any time, they'll get the statements, and it'll show exactly how much money came in and how much money went out. There's no mixing, even of their funds, with another client funds, nor with any other vendor's funds. I'm also working with Grant Thornton. I'm spending a lot of money to ensure that we're up to snuff in terms of compliance, anti-money laundering, anti-terrorism financing, all these regulations that are applicable when you're moving large amounts of money worldwide. And thirdly, as I said before, working with the Canadian banking system. No liquidity issues ever, highly regulated, highly structured, one of the only banking systems that didn't have trouble during the financial crisis.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like, again, you're filling a need that's out there in our meetings industry. And how are you finding the response so far?
It's been fantastic. And what's particularly interesting is there are many applications for this that I hadn't thought of. My main conception of the product would be for insurance and financial companies doing large corporate and incentives overseas. But I've talked to international associations who do meetings worldwide, perhaps in destinations where the banking sector is maybe a little bit under stress, but they love the destination. Why should that vendor in that community of tourism and meetings industry suppliers suffer just because the banking system is having an issue? I can fill that void. So there's a lot of great applications that I haven't even dreamed of yet, but that will benefit from this.
Excellent. I hope you're getting great response here at the IMEX show. And again, we want to thank you, Grant Snyder, the CEO of Meeting Escrow, for talking to us and explaining to us a little bit about how Meeting Escrow works, and we wish you the very best with it.
Thanks very much, Mike.
Good to see you, Grant.
Thanks.